and welcome to a new reaction. My name is Larissa and this is the last Game of Thrones episode ever. I don't know what to do, how to feel. Yesterday was such a weird day for me because like the cast was constantly posting these things where they said goodbye or where they like did some throwbacks and tributes to their characters, and I was just crying every time I read a new one. And it just felt so weird because Game of Thrones has been a part of my life for so long and it's ending, and I think I'm going to do my speech now before starting the episode because I have no idea in what kind of state I will be after it, and I have no idea how I will feel. It's just all so weird and it's just ending. It's just a huge part of my life. I mean, I basically grew up with it. I mean, I started watching when I was 13 years old. I'm almost 20 years old now, and I think Game of Thrones also kind of made me the person I am today. It sounds really weird, but Game of Thrones is just... I've been saying for years, like, Game of Thrones is the reason I live. Like, sometimes I just said it because I loved it so much, sometimes I meant it literally. Okay, first let me say some things about the last episode, because what the hell was that? After the episode I had no idea what to say or what to think, because it was just Dany like went mad out of nowhere. And a lot of people say no, that's not true. There were already signs of her going mad, and maybe there were some like foreshadowings, but it was not like they built up this storyline. It was just out of nowhere. A lot of people were like really offensive and they were like, you can't just say this episode is trash because Daenerys went mad because your favorite character is this, because you so blindly love her. But guys, I mean, even if she went mad, I mean, if there was another season and they would have like built up the storyline and she would have gone mad then, of course I wouldn't have liked it. She's my favorite character and I always looked up to her. But at least then there would be a proper build up and it wouldn't be out of nowhere. Like in one episode we're gonna ruin your favorite character and there's no coming back from that. No, that just really made me pissed. And like I said, if it just had a good storyline and a good build-up, I wouldn't have been as angry at them as I am now. I mean, the things we saw, the special effects, everything, it was just really cool and it was really well made, and I'm quite sure they had lots of work on this, and I appreciate that. But the episode itself was like great, but the storyline sucked again, and that's just the thing. And I know most of you guys agree with me, so yeah, I hope this last episode will still be like okay. Last episode when I started I said like, okay, I hope these last two episodes will like make up for the last episode because that was just trash, and then it was even worse. So I don't have much confidence about it, but we'll just see. It's the last episode, and no matter how it will end, it will always be a big part of me, and it made me who I am today. I really think that, and I just can't believe that it will actually be all over after this. I mean, of course we're getting spin-offs, but the show I fell in love with, the show that like meant so much in my life, is just ending after this. I mean, I have been a fan since I was 13, and it has just been my entire high school time, my entire drama education. I mean, I'm doing finals this year, so yeah, also that. It's just been such a big part of my life. And besides being so nervous every time a new Game of Thrones episode airs, because you never know if your favorite character is going to live or die, it has also brought me so many good things. Like, it brought me lots of people I got to know through this fandom, events to go to, like the Game of Thrones exhibition in Amsterdam. I was like 13 or 14 years old and I heard that the exhibition was coming to my country, and I had been trying to convince my parents to go for like months, me and my brother, because of course we were like, he was 10 and I was 13. I mean, they're not gonna let us go to Amsterdam on our own. So we like had to persuade them to go, and after months of trying to, they finally said yes, and we were so damn happy. And then you just had this really happy 13 or 14-year-old Larissa on the Iron Throne. I mean, yeah. I also went to the Game of Thrones concert last year. That was such an amazing experience, and I'm going to say it, it was the most beautiful thing I ever saw, and I just can't think of anything that like hit me more than that, because that was just really the most beautiful thing I ever saw. A few years ago I went to, I also visited so many Game of Thrones places. The first time I visited a Game of Thrones place was in Croatia. We went to Dubrovnik, and there we did a Game of Thrones tour, and we like visited all of King's Landing, and we had this guide who like showed us all the places, and it was really cool. And me and my friend back then, we booked like the ultimate tour, and we were the only people in our entire group, so only the two of us could go up in the mountains, and there were like all the gardens of King's Landing and so many other places. 2 years ago I went to Spain. That's where I visited the arena in Marine, and I visited, well, the place they used as Marine. And I went to Real Alcazar, that's where they shot Dorne. So yeah, I visited quite some places, and I'm sure as hell planning to visit some more. I'm also going to an upcoming Game of Thrones weekend in December. Like, I could go on for like hours. It just brought me so much. But of course, it also brought me so many nice people like you guys who support my videos, and I'm so grateful for that, because my channel had already started to grow a bit, but the moment I started doing that reaction in my mouse onesie to the door, I mean, it had so many views. Back then I was like, this is so much, and then I just kept doing reactions. And I think I had always been looking for a way to express my feelings about Game of Thrones more. I even had done some reviews in the past. I think that was like at season, I believe 4. Yeah, season 3 or 4, and they were completely in Dutch, but I was just looking for a way to express my feelings about Game of Thrones. And I think the moment I started doing these reaction videos, I had found that way, and yeah, it really brought me a lot, like a way for me to express my feelings about Game of Thrones, but also lots of people who I can talk to about Game of Thrones and who support me, and that's just amazing. And even though I have no idea, we all have no idea what the fuck is happening with this last season. We had so many great seasons, and that's something I will just never forget. I just hope it won't be an awful ending. I mean, because of this, it will like leave this thought like, okay, but that's how it ended. But it will still mean so much to me, no matter how it ends. I don't like that it's ending. On the other hand, I think it's okay now. I think I made my like peace with it, because I'm going to be honest, I haven't really been able to enjoy this last season. Not because of the writing, but because of how nervous I constantly was, and about constantly having to think, but it's going to end after this. And I was just really, I still am right now, really nervous about how it was going to end and how it was going to leave me. But because the last 2 episodes weren't really good, I think I already was able to like make my peace with it. I was just a mess these last 6 weeks, and I think it's better when it's over, because I was like in this depression, especially after last week. I was just crying in bed the entire evening. That's why my reaction also showed up a little late. I just think it was because the fact that it's actually ending just made me really nervous, and that's why I just couldn't really deal with it. But it's gonna be fine. Okay, now about this last episode. I've talked a lot, but I wanted to do this before starting, because after the episode I have so many other things to say probably, so it's better if I do it now. Yeah, just tell you how I feel about this, and how it, and what it means to me, and how much it will always mean to me. Anyway, this last episode, I'm nervous. That's not a surprise, because I'm nervous every week. I know there's perhaps a big chance that Dany is going to die, and Dany is also a character that meant a lot to me over the past years. I mean, she had such a big influence on me, and yeah, also Emilia Clarke. She's my favorite actress ever, and I like to support her in every movie she does. It just brings me so much. But I know that there's a big possibility that Dany is going to die, and if that happens, I'll be devastated, of course. But I've been trying to prepare myself, especially after last week, because I know the chance is quite big. I'm really trying to prepare myself, like if it happens, don't totally freak out, just yeah, I don't know, I have no idea how I will react if it happens. I mean, I don't think it's a thing you can prepare yourself for, but I've really tried it. If it happens, I don't know, even if it won't happen, I think I'll probably be crying in bed for the rest of the day anyway, because it's the season finale and it feels weird and I don't know what to think. And I also have to go to a rehearsal tonight for a play I'm in, and the play is this Saturday, and I had to like go to this rehearsal every Monday, and I hated doing that. I mean, I love the play, but because I was like so caught up in Game of Thrones every Monday, and then I had to go to the rehearsal after that, I was just like, oh, this is not on my mind right now. But that's what I also have to do today. So if my reaction comes a little late, you know why. For now, I talked enough. I talked 50 minutes. That's quite long. Of course, I'm going to cut some things in that, but that's quite long. Anyway, if you don't check the comments and you didn't want to hear all of this, you're too late now. But in the comments, I put a timer when the reaction starts for people who don't care about this. But I just really wanted to share this, and I felt like doing it before the episode, because after, like I said, I have no idea how I will feel after. Now I'm going to start. I'm just afraid to start doing this, but I have to, and I will. So let's go. It's time. It's time for this to end, and it's time for us to know how. So let's do this. This is so awful.
It's not safe. Let me send some men with you. I'm going now.
I think that's for the best.
In the name of the one true queen, Daenerys Targaryen, I sentence you to die.
Why?
It's over. These men are prisoners. It is not over until the queen's enemies are defeated.
How much more defeated do you want them to be? They're on their knees.
They are breathing. They chose to fight for her.
Easy, bro. Easy.
Oh damn, that must be strange to have lived there for so long. And then to see like this. Like everything destroyed. No people there anymore. That boat is still there. Oh, is he gonna find them now? Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah, that was your family. If you just start to think back about all the seasons, all the things they went through. I mean, just the Lannisters in general. Everything they did, everything that happened. Sorry, I'm thinking too much right now. Does Jon even know that Arya's here? That Targaryen banner. Oh guys, who would have ever thought this would happen? And then I'm not talking about the horse right now, but I mean a fucking huge Targaryen banner in King's Landing and her entire army standing there. I'm so curious how this is all gonna go now. Oh shit, queen.
Shaka adrevistos ge anima hogegaran sigeti mori. Shaka adrevis o kuene ge mori. Shaka rehesis anhan rehesis andati.
Oh, this is so cool.
Avitolvio anjuro gento sibrosa. Dario Valerio Valeriat. In veni basma tetostaor. In vrappa dolvio vio vinronti aderat. En winter velva dornat. Avar. Valar. Rinjar. Tole grego votis. Grevi in noma pregelat.
Arya's not liking it one bit. Lots of people think that or Jon or Arya is gonna kill her. Tyrion.
You freed your brother. You committed treason.
I freed my brother. And you slaughtered a city.
Oh shit. Oh, not Tyrion.
Zirine Jakatas.
I'm going to be real right now. I love how Dany has taken power and everything, but how and her plans aren't good. And I don't think it can stay this way, of course. But I'm just not able to give up my love for Dany after 7 years because of what she did last episode, even though it was like the most horrible thing ever. I'm not just gonna give up on her. Oh, this music, what does that mean? Nothing yet. That he's not in love with her anymore, maybe? Oh.
What are you doing here?
Came to kill Cersei. Your queen got there first.
She's everyone's queen now.
Try telling Sansa.
Mm.
She knows who you are. You'll always be a threat to her. And then you'll kill her when I see one.
I had never expected any of this to go like this. And I think she needs to be stopped. She does, really. But like I said, I'm not just going to give up on her.
Did you bring any wine? I betrayed my closest friend and watched him burn. Now Varys' ashes can tell my ashes. See? I told you.
Yeah, okay, that's true. I mean, Varys was right in the end. But still, he tried
occurred
to
to me.
poison Dany.
I can't justify what happened, but the war is over now.
Is it? When you heard her talking to her soldiers, did she sound like someone who's done fighting?
Mm-hmm. That's the moment when I was like, okay, maybe this does need to be stopped.
I think our house words are stamped on our bodies when we're born, and that's who we are. Then I'd be fire and blood too.
Okay, yeah.
She's not her father, no more than your Tywin Lannister.
The moment the gates fell, the battle was over.
She saw her friend beheaded. She saw her dragon shot out of the sky.
And she burned down a city for it.
It's easy to judge when you're standing far from the battlefield.
Would you have done it?
I would have never expected Jon to react like this.
You've had that power. Would you have burned the city down?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You won't say because you don't want to betray her.
Yeah, I think that's it.
You truly believed, wouldn't you kill whoever stood between you and paradise?
I just want things to be how they were before. I wish the last episode just didn't happen.
Love is the death of duty.
Oh my god.
You just
Isn't
came
that
up
what
with that.
Maester Aemon said?
Maester Aemon said it
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Who is more dangerous than the rightful heir to the Iron Throne?
That's her decision. She is the queen.
I am not sure what to think about Jon right now. I mean, I like how there's still someone like defending Dany, but this doesn't seem like Jon.
Because she doesn't want Dany to be
She
queen.
doesn't get to choose.
No. But you do. And you have to choose now.
I don't know, it feels weird, a little out of character, because Jon always someone who wants to do the right thing, and he just saw her slaughter a city and he's still defending her and he's like, I'm in love with her. I mean, I'm not complaining because I'm glad there's still someone who defends her, but it just doesn't seem... No, I don't know. Oh, you're not sleep yet. I know you're Jon, you're Targaryen, I'm going to sleep. The foreshadowing! Oh my god! In the first season season, the second season I mean. Remember when, oh my fucking god. Okay. And then she walked outside and there was this tent with Khal Drogo. That was in the second season indeed. Holy fuck. This is so cool. Oh, it's like the same. It's like the same as, oh. Holy fucking shit.
I imagined a mountain of swords too high to climb. So many fallen enemies, you could only see the soles of Aegon's feet.
I saw them executing Lannister prisoners in the street. They said they were acting on your orders.
Oops.
Have you seen? Children! Little children burned!
I tried to make peace with Cersei.
And Tyrion, forgive him.
I can't.
You can. You can forgive all of them. Make them see they made a mistake. Make them understand. Oh, please, Danny. The world we need is a world of mercy. It has to be.
And it will be.
How do you know it'll be good?
Because I know what is good. And so do you.
I know.
You do. You've always known.
What about everyone else? All the other people who think they know what's good.
They don't get to choose. Be with me. Build the new world with me. This is our reason. It has been from the beginning, since you were a little boy with a bastard's name. And I was a little girl who couldn't count to 20. We do it together.